Hello and welcome. My name is Yvonne Gaybauer with my therapy room. And I'm going to take you through my process of another art journal page. Now what I'm using here is one of Limor Webber's signature color sets called Neon Graffiti. Absolutely love that set. And my idea was to take some different stencils and some of the different sprays and create multiple layers of color and texture on the page. So I started with this stencil. Absolutely love that stencil. It was one of Karen Birchall's. We were up at our cabin, or at my cabin I should say. She had come along with me. And we went up there just for an art weekend. And we called it Rest Art. What was it? No, Relaxation, Art, Wine, and or Wine Weekend, something like that. Well, we didn't do a whole lot of resting. We did do a lot of arting and a lot of relaxing and a little bit of wine drinking, and it was an absolute amazing weekend. We had so much fun and got so much accomplished. Anyway, so here I'm spraying. Love that. Love the look of that stencil on a page. Now, I don't want to waste that yummy spray that's on that stencil, so I'm going to move my book away. And I bring out a coffee filter. And coffee filters work excellent as texture on a page if you're ever wanting to add some layers. So don't waste that paint. Don't just grab a baby wipe. I find baby wipes too hard to adhere to a page, so I like to wipe off after a lot of times with my stencils. And yeah. So that's what I end up having on my coffee filter. Now I end up doing a lot more layers than that on it. But anyway, so bring the book back and get it dried up with my heat tool. And then I grab the second stencil that I wanted to use and my pink. The first time I used the purple. And I apologize, I don't have the spray set right in front of me right now, so I don't know the names of each of these colors, so I apologize. But now I go in with the pink. And go in with the dot stencil, again another one of Karen's stencils, and I quite like the contrast of the two shapes when I get finished the page. It's funny how this page just evolved into something that ends up looking nothing like I had in my head. I don't know if that happens to you guys as well, but quite often if I actually ever do start with an idea ahead of time, it never really ever turns out. And so yeah, most of the time I just like to wing it. Fly by the seat of my pants. It seems to be how I do a lot of things. So drives my daughter-in-law crazy, who is a very scheduled, everything planned person. But anyways, we work well off of each other. Anyways, so sopping up some more of that yumminess on my coffee filters. And that one was a little bit wetter, so it kind of covered up the stencil from underneath, but at the end of the day I'm going more for the color into the coffee filter than I am the actual stencils. So I'm going to give it another heat set to dry that layer, and then I go in and try to find yet another stencil. It doesn't quite cover as much of the page as I wanted it to, so flipping through Karen's little book. This is how she stores. Actually, so we both store our stencils, but I grabbed her book and decided to do it with my black, which I ended up with all over my fingers. My fingers were black by the time I was done. And when I finished that, of course, I wasn't really all that happy. Wished I hadn't done the black and was yipping away about that. And when I put the black on that coffee filter, it kind of covers up anything else I would have had on there. But you know, at the end of the day, those two coffee filters are probably one of my favorites. Heat setting again. And then I come in with, I believe it's the yellow after I'm done heat setting this one. And it just kind of melds all of the colors together. And although a lot of my stencil texture disappears, I love how the four colors, I guess it is, blend together. And that's one of the amazing things, or the things I like the best about my Lindy sprays, is the sets always work well together, and rarely do you end up with mud with a set. So here I am again, just adding more of the spray and just letting them kind of run together a little bit. As you can see, my stenciling spraying that I did was kind of for naught. But, you know, actually no, because it does still add to the layers of texture I ended up with underneath it all. So, no, I'm quite happy with it. So now, cleaning up my station, of course, grab my coffee filter, because, again, you just end up with all of this yumminess that you can use in other projects. Dry it all up and bring it back. Now, to decide on, I want to do, I've got another stencil of Karen's that I've always wanted to use, and it's the Live, Love, Laugh one. So now I'm just trying to decide, okay, right or left, right or left. Yeah. You can tell I'm a really decisive person. Sideways, how do I want that? Holy cow. Anyways, grab my whip spackle and put it on a piece of acetate and some of my magicals. And again, I'm sorry, I don't know the color. I really should. Maybe I'll put it in the description of the video. You do not need much of the magicals. They are so pigmented that a little bit goes a long way. So I've mixed up the color just so I don't have white on my page, and that way I can put that through the stencil onto the page. Now when you're stenciling, I know I've given this tip before, but you want to hold your palette knife as flat to the stencil as you can. You don't want to hold it up perpendicular. You want to hold it as horizontally to the stencil as you can. And that will alleviate any of the texture paste seeping underneath, and will just stay on top of the stencil and onto your page. It's just a little trick, again, that I learned from Limor Webber. I've learned a lot from that woman. Love her to death. Yeah, I used my baby wipe there. Wasn't very happy because it left this little blotch on the page that, yeah. Anyways, I got over it eventually. Now, I didn't want to waste the rest of that texture paste either, so I grabbed a piece of deli paper that I had just stamped randomly on and grabbed another stencil of Karen's and just did that onto the, and now I have this great textured page. So here I am. It looks like finished with the page. I'm quite happy with the way it turned out, but it's missing something and I wasn't really sure what. I wanted some black in there somewhere. So I thought, do I stamp? Do I what? And it's already got butterflies on it. So I thought, okay, let's add more butterflies. So again, another one of Karen's stencils. I don't know if I forgot to bring my stencils along that weekend or what, but grabbed that and my, I believe my Stays On ink pad is what I'm, or is it black ink maybe, or black paint? Well, that's actually black paint by the looks of things, acrylic paint. And I'm just putting it through the stencil onto the page, trying to decide what do I want to use. I'm really a decisive person, aren't I? Holy cow. I didn't realize I had that many what do I do's. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Speak good English too, don't I? Wow. Anyway, so just continue to add butterflies to my page, and it just really kind of pulls it all together at the end of the day. I think I decided to use almost every butterfly she had on that stencil. Beautiful stencil, by the way. Another one of those ones that might have to go onto my wish list, you know. I think I add a couple more, kind of half off the page type of. Oh, must have got some black paint on my book. This is really quite funny watching it afterwards, trying to decide where I want to put what. I think I put two more little half butterflies on there or something. And then I'm done with the page, making sure I'm not going to go over top of my stencil, trying to get it to work in there. Trying not to go over the edge of the stencil either, so I end up with a big black blob. So there, done, just like that. So there's my page. Thank you very much for stopping by once again. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up. I'd love it if you would subscribe. That way you'll get email notifications when I do upload a new video. leave a comment. I love reading comments, and I do try my best to reply to all of them. Share the video would be great as well. I'm going to put links in the description for my blog, Instagram, Pinterest, all those lovely social media outlets that you can follow me on. And eventually I'll probably even blog about this page. My poor blog gets neglected. So again, thank you very, very much. I do appreciate your support, and have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye-bye.